Good afternoon to all of you. After a long time we are meeting and yes, many students are there. So open your supplementary book. This is your English class and I want to inform you, it's very regret to inform there is some technical glitch from our side, so that's why we can't able to conduct your first period. Okay, this is your second period is going on. This is your second period is going on and we are unable to conduct the first period as there is some technical glitch. Okay, as there is some technical glitch. Okay, open your textbook, supplementary book, not text, supplementary book. I will be starting with the 6th chapter from your syllabus, The Making of a Scientist. Just open your book, keep a book with you. I hope you all are well. Noise is coming. There is no noise. There is no noise, my dear. Now is it okay? Now my voice is clear to you. Please respond. Okay. Okay, so let's start. I hope you are ready with your supplementary book. I will be starting with The Making of a Scientist. Okay, The Making of a Scientist. This is written by Robert W. Peterson and he was an American author. Okay, and this story is all about Richard H. Everett. This story is all about Richard H. Everett, okay, who grew up in the town of Reading, Pennsylvania, USA. Okay, he grew up in the town named Reading, R-E-A-D-I-N-G. It's the name of a place. Okay, it's the name of a place and it is in Pennsylvania, USA. Okay, and collecting things was his hobby. He used to collect different kinds of things. Okay, he used to collect different things, and the most important thing is about that he used to collect butterflies from his kindergarten. When he was in kindergarten, he used to collect butterflies and he used to tag it for a scientist who was in research of that. So this curious child who used to collect butterflies went on afterwards to become a great scientist of the world. Okay, so we are going to read about his childhood days and how he had become a great scientist. Okay, so this is all about the story. Let me start. I hope you are ready with your book now. Many are joining right now. Okay. At the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. So at the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year means a previous member of the Scout Association surprised this world with a new theory, okay, on how cells work. He just make the whole world surprised with a new theory how cells work. So it was their first invention. Okay, when Everett was at the age of 22. Richard H. Everett. So it was his full name, Richard H. Everett, and his college roommate explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. Okay, so their first invention, their first achievement, which was achieved by Robert H. Everett along with his roommate. Both of them explained the theory on how cells work. It was their first theory and it was published in an article in the Proceeding of the National Academy of Science. This is the name of the magazine. It was the first time this important scientific journal had ever published the work of college students. So this valuable magazine, so what was the name of that magazine? Proceeding of the National Academy of Science. It had published the work of the college students for the first time. Okay, so this important, this valuable magazine, it had just published the work of the college students. It was a new theory on how cells work and it had been published in this magazine for the first time. So this magazine, they had published the work of the college students for the first time. In sports, that would be like making the big leagues at the age of 15 and hitting a home run your first time at bat. So this achievement achieved by Richard H. Everett along with his roommate, this achievement would be like just winning a big competition. Big league means big competition at the age of 15, or this achievement is just like hitting a home run your first time at bat. Home run is actually means a ball hit out of playing field is also called home run, which is a term used in baseball. Okay, so this achievement is compared with just like the winning of any competition at the age of 15 or hitting a home run first time at bat. For Richard Everett, it was the first in a long string of achievements in science and other fields. So Richard Everett, he had achieved many things in science and in other fields, and it was one of the many achievements that he achieved later in his life. And it all started with butterflies. So all these inventions, discoveries, everything, it had started in Richard Everett's life with the discovering of different species of butterflies. Okay, an only child. So Everett, he was the one and only child of his parents. Everett grew up north of Reading, Pennsylvania. So it is the name of the place in USA where Everett grew up. There was not much I could do there, he said. Even Everett also remarked about the place that he had not done many things while he was living in Reading, Pennsylvania. Why? I certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of one, because he could not have done many things. Why? Because there were very less number of people living over there and he had to play alone. He had no companion. If he had to play football and baseball, that means he had to play alone. So what he could do other than playing? But there was one thing he could do, collect things. So how he used to pass his time? He used to pass his leisure time by collecting different types of things. So collecting things became his hobby. Okay? So he did. So like this way, he started to pass his leisure time. And did he ever? And he used to do it. He used to collect the things forever and ever. Beginning in kindergarten, so he had started to collect different things when he was in kindergarten section. Everett collected butterflies with the same determination that has marked all his activities. He also collected rocks, fossils and coins. So he not only used to collect butterflies and tag it, he used to collect rocks, fossils and coins. So collecting things became his hobby and he never used to play. Why? Because there was no more companion with him to play. He became an eager astronomer too. So he had a keen interest in reading astronomy also. sometimes stargazing all night. So what he used to do, as he had a keen interest in astronomy, he used to keep staring at the stars all through the night. Okay. Now tell me, any problem in page number 32? Any problem, any questions from your side from page number 32? Am I clear to you what I have taught up to this? If any question, any word meanings, if you wanted to know, if any line, if you have just, it's not clear to you, please comment me in the box. Okay, okay, very good. Very good. Okay. You should feel free to share it if you are having any problem. Okay, come to page number 33. From the first, he had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. So Ebrid, he was different from others. Okay, he was different from other child. So Ebrid had always been very curious to learn different things. Okay, he was very curious to learn many new things, and even he had a very sharp mind. He also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. So his mother also used to encourage her child Ebrid to learn different types of things, as he also had a bright, clear mind, as he had a sharp mind, even he was very much curious in learning different types of things. So his mother also kept him, just provoking him just to learn different types of things. Okay, she took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipments, and helped him in many other ways. So his mother also used to assist him in trips, in educational trips, in learning trips. He also used to buy telescopes, microscopes, camera, different equipments and mounting materials for her child Ebrid. And also she used to help him in learning in different ways. So his mother always used to motivate him. His mother always used to assist him while her child was learning different types of things. I was his only companion until he started school, his mother said. So his mother remarked that Ebrid was only his only companion until he started to go school. After that, I would bring home friends for him. After that, his mother also used to help him to bring many friends for him, but at night we just did things together. And during the time of night, they used to do many things together, Ebrid and his mother. Richie was my whole life. So his mother, Ebrid's mother, remarked that Richie was his nickname. He was her whole life. Why? After his father died when Richie was in 3rd grade. So when Ebrid was in 3rd grade, it was very unfortunate that his father died and Richie became her mother's only companion in his life, in her life. She and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. So they used to spend time every evening at the dining room table together. If he did not have things to do, I found work for him. So if Ebrid he didn't have anything to do, his mother would find different types of tasks for him. Not physical work but learning things. So his mother used to arrange different types of tasks for learning. His mother said he liked it, he wanted to learn. And the most important thing is that Ebrid used to like learning. He wanted to learn more and more new things. So he had a thirst of knowledge, he had a quest of knowledge, of learning different things. That's why his mother used to motivate him in different sphere while learning, not only in physical work but also in learning different types of things. And learn he did. So he usually used to learn different things, and even he had a very sharp mind. He earned top grades in school. Ebrid achieved top grades in school. He was a very bright student. On everyday things, he was just like every other kid, his mother said. So he was very regular in doing daily tasks, his mother said, just like every other kid. By the time he was in the 2nd grade, Ebrid had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. So when Ebrid was reading in 2nd grade, Ebrid started to collect butterflies. And how many different types of species he had collected? He had collected 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown, and that Ebrid had found them in his own neighborhood. In his hometown, he had collected 25 different species of butterflies. That probably would have been the end of my butterfly collecting, he said. But then my mother got me a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. So he means Ebrid. Ebrid thought that it would have been the end of the butterfly collecting, because he had collected 25 different species of butterflies. If his mother would have not got a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. So Ebrid thought after collecting different species of butterflies, it would be enough for him. But after he got a book named The Travels of Monarch X, he understood that it was a big journey of collecting butterflies. That book, which told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So this book named The Travels of Monarch X, which his mother had brought for him, it described about how monarch butterflies used to migrate to Central America. Migration means seasonal movement of animals or birds from one region to another region. So the book explained how monarch butterflies migrated to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So this book became the turning point of Ebrid's career as it turned its curiosity towards science. Okay, now he was much more interested in reading science, in discovering, in inventing different types of things. Okay, so page 33 I have done. Now you tell me that is it clear or not? Students, am I clear this part of page number 33? Yes, if any question is there, you are free to comment it in the box. From your side, if any question is there, you feel free to comment me in the box. Yes, Shamrat clear, Ishanur clear, Shubhojit, no problem. Any question from your side? Any question? Many are there. 13 students are there. If you are having any question, any doubts, please do clear it. Okay. Come to the next page, page number 34. At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migration. So this is the most catching part at the end of the book for the readers. Okay. So at the end of the book, the readers of the books were invited to help study butterfly migrations. How? They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. So after reading the books, children were asked to tag butterflies. Why? For helping in the research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Everett's mother wrote to Dr. Urquhart, and soon Everett was attaching light adhesive tags to the wings of the monarch. So Everett's mother started to write a letter to Dr. Urquhart informing him that Everett had started to collect monarch butterflies and he had attached light adhesive tags at the wings of the butterflies. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. So the person who would find a tagged butterfly, he was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. So this was mentioned at the end of the book, and this proposal was propounded by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto. He was researching about butterflies. The butterfly collecting season around Reading lasts 6 weeks in late summer. So this collecting of butterfly season, it lasted around 6 weeks in late summer while Everett was in Reading. Reading means the place where he used to live in Pennsylvania. If you are going to chase them one by one, you won't catch very many. So Everett understood one fact, that if he kept on chasing the butterfly one by one, then he would not able to catch many butterflies. So the next step for Everett was to raise a flock of butterflies. So he decided, Everett decided that he would raise a flock of butterflies. He would rear a flock of butterflies. Where? In his basement. Okay, he would catch a female monarch, take her eggs and raise them in his basement through their life cycle, from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. So now Everett thought that it would become very easy for him if he would rear butterflies. How he would do this? He would catch a monarch butterfly, a female butterfly, then he would collect her eggs and raise them in his basement, and he would leave them for having a proper life cycle of the butterfly, from egg to caterpillar, then pupa, then to adult butterfly. So this was the life cycle of our butterfly, and Everett, he was going to rear the butterflies in his basement so that it would be easier for him to tag the butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly's wings and let them go. So it is very difficult to collect each butterfly from different place. So that's why he had decided to rear the butterflies in his basement. So when these butterflies would grow up, what he would do? He would tag at the wings of the butterflies and he would let them free. For several years, his basement was a home to thousands of monarchs. So he had reared thousands of butterflies in his basement, and the basement became a home of these butterflies for many years in different stages of development. And one could see different stages of life of butterfly in that basement. Okay. So like this way, Everett started to rear the butterflies, and it had become very easier for him to tag at the wings of the butterflies and let them free. Eventually, I began to lose interest in tagging butterflies. So after many years, he started to lose interest in tagging butterflies. This is a very important question. It is tedious and there is not much feedback. So why Everett had lose interest in tagging butterflies? Because this process is very slow and it is a very tiring process. and there is not much feedback, and the second point is it also did not get him any response. So these are the two reasons why a breed had lose interest in tagging butterflies. A breed said, in all the time I did it, he laughed. Only 2 butterflies I had tagged were recaptured. So a breed used to tag many butterflies, but the people used to get only 2 tagged butterflies. Only 2 tagged butterflies were recaptured, and they were not more than 75 miles from where I lived. And these 2 tagged butterflies were recaptured more than 75 miles from where they used to live. So this is a very tiring process. This is a very slow process. Okay, so that's why a breed had lose interest in tagging butterflies. So these butterflies used to move, and then they were recaptured by any people. So it was very much tiresome process, and even it is a long process. Can you repeat the answer? I have not. Okay, I have just discussed it. Okay, the question was why a breed had lose interest in tagging butterflies. Answer is the 2 points are there. A breed thought that it was a very slow and tiring process, T-I-R-I-N-G. It was a very slow and tiring process, and it also did not get him response, Why? The reason is that when the 2 butterflies were recaptured, these 2 butterflies were recaptured which were more than 75 miles from where a breed used to live. So it was a very long process, it was a very tiring process, and even it is also very slow. And a breed, it also he thought that the process also did not get him much more response. So that's why he started to lose interest in tagging butterflies. Okay. So with this I will end up the class, and in my next class when I will get it, I will continue with this chapter. Now you can ask me any question. If you are having any problem, any confusion, from any line, you could ask me. Okay, am I clear? These 3 pages which I have taught you, am I clear to you? Okay. Okay. Okay, others, any problem? Okay. So go through the chapter, okay? And when I will get my next class, I will definitely continue with this chapter. Okay, thank you very much. And wait for your next class to begin. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.